Feel good to be out running the hurdles again?
Yeah, it feels pretty good. Just getting back into it. Been training for probably about a month now, so just kind of working my way back into it. I'm starting to feel better. I ran pretty well at Arkansas, and hopefully, in a couple of weeks when at the conference meet, I'll be able to run a little bit faster.
Will you rusty at all?
I don't know, maybe just a little bit like technique-wise, but I felt pretty good running, just speed-wise, and I was getting in better shape. And it was my first meet back in Arkansas, so I was a little bit hyped up, so it was good.
This week it was Kirk that ended up going ahead of all you guys. But
Yeah.
what's it like running? Sorry, what's it like running with Kirk and Tony, Brooks James, and everyone?
No, it's cool for sure. All those guys are really fast guys, which is why they're on the track team. So it's kind of cool to just have competition with some guys that we're used to being around all year. We kind of just give each other a hard time throughout the season. Kirk is definitely a fast guy, so hopefully I'm gonna see what I can do in the next couple of weeks to get him. But we'll see. I might have to wait till outdoors when we get to the 100 to beat him. But yeah, so it should be fun with Tony. Tony's getting back into the swing of things too, and Charles is too. Hopefully he'll be jumping a little bit more this year, so it'll be cool.
What kind of support are they able to give you with you kind of coming back from injury?
Charles, had the same injury in high school, and Tony dealt with a little bit of injuries this year throughout the football season, and so, it's the same old thing. I'm feeling good now. I'm starting to get a little bit better. I'm getting back to my old self. I'm just working on strength now. My knee feels fine, so I'm just trying to get the strength back. But it's just nice to have those guys. We work out together. We have when we do our lifts and whatever, during our lift groups, all the track guys that play football work out together at the same time too. So it's nice.
Do they look to you for insight into how to balance things?
They asked me in the beginning what your schedule's going to be like. Mine's a little bit different just because I do hurdle stuff too. So then I practice in the mornings, and they have practice with the sprint coaches and Coach Rad. So their schedule's a little bit different, but they just asked me about how to balance things with school and stuff like that. But Coach Rad does a pretty good job, making sure all those guys do what they need to do in the classroom first.
Is your season, just all of it, just kind of geared towards getting you to the Olympic trials?
Yeah, that's the goal. Ultimately, of course, I want to win, NCAAs, indoor and outdoor, and, run fast. But the ultimate goal is to make that Olympic team. So hopefully we kind of progress, and stay healthy throughout the season and do that.
Robert mentioned that this is your first indoor season. You didn't actually do hurdles as a freshman. Is that true?
I did once or twice my freshman year. I was getting into the swing of things. I ran at a couple meets, and right towards the end I was starting to feel a little bit better, but I just didn't have a whole indoor season to compete.
Did you do a lot of indoors in high school?
No, we don't. I did a couple indoor meets, but we don't really have indoor in Arizona because it's just hot. So,
It's nice outside.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we kind of. I went to NAU a couple times for an indoor track meet just to run, but I've never really competed indoor seasons. So it's nice. It's different. It's a different race. Of course, it's the 60 hurdles are more for the quick starters, and so that kind of helps me because I can practice on getting out quick and staying out ahead throughout the race. But other than that, that's a little bit different.
What's the biggest adjustment going to indoors, if you're not as used to it as you are with the outdoors?
I think just really, with hurdles especially, it's just being clean. Because in a long hurdle race, you can hit a hurdle and then kind of, you have some time to make up. If if you're not clean in the short hurdles, you're not going to have time to make it up. It's a 7-second race. So, but other than that, yeah, just being clean and trying to run fast from the beginning. And that's coming with time. Hopefully, as the weeks go on, I'll get, more flexibility as a hurdler. That's the thing too. That's different. As a football guy, I don't really work on flexibility. But once I get out to the track and I can't get my legs over the hurdle, I'm like, oh man. So I gotta start doing that.
What's the biggest difference? I know there's still a long way to go in the season, but pressure-wise, between football and the pressure you deal with on track and how you handle that?
I always get more nervous during track meets. I guess it's because in football you have a team. You have 11 people on the field, and everybody's kind of watching everybody. It's big stakes, it's 60,000 people. But in track meets, it's kind of it could be a relay, but on the hurdle race, it's 8 guys running, and your family's in the stands watching just you. So, it's kind of nerve-wracking. But I've been doing it for a while now, so I try not to get too nervous. I know in the Arkansas meet, I was really nervous before, but now that I ran a couple times, I ran the 60 and 60 hurdles this last meet, 5 races, and. So it's just getting back into the swing of things. It's been a year and a half since I've run, so just getting back into it.
Devon, what's the first thing that comes back? Hurdles is so technical. You've been away so long in terms of start, acceleration, getting over the hurdle, steps, rhythm. What's the first thing that comes back, and what's the last thing that comes back?
I can tell you the last thing is really just like the start is the last thing to come back. Really, I'm working that. My freshman year, that's something I really had a hard time with around this time in the season. I was debating whether to go 7 steps, 8 steps to the first hurdle, and trying to figure out what I was going to do into the start. And as the season progressed, I got a lot better at that. But I think the first thing to come back is just like, it took me like 1 or 2 days of drills just to get back into hurdling and kind of feeling comfortable. And I think, I've been doing it for a while, so I feel real comfortable out, doing hurdles. Like I said earlier, my flexibility isn't quite where I want it to be. And I can feel it in my hamstrings and my hip flexors, after I hurdle. So that's probably the first thing that comes back.
Is there anything football related you have to miss these days?
Yeah, I miss lifting heavy. Yeah, Coach Rad kind of changes up the weightlifting for the track guys, just because on a Friday lift when we lift heavy, we'd be traveling or something like that. And on Wednesday, you don't want to kill your legs doing squats or whatever for a meet Friday or Saturday. So they're real adjusted lifts. Like this week is probably going to be our most regular week we're going to have lifting wise. And then like yesterday, we just did like cleans and push press and squats and stuff like that. But it's still kind of a little bit different than what we're used to. And I know Kirk's a little bit upset with that because he's a big guy out there, so he's trying to keep his form. But I think it'll work out in the end.
But otherwise, you'll be able to do everything else. The rest of the football guys, the rest of the football team.
Yeah, exactly. They're doing like 7-on-7 stuff by themselves, and
You're able to participate.
yeah, and they kind of just doing their thing on their own. I have class in the morning on Tuesday and Thursday, so I don't get to do that stuff with them on those days. But other than that, pretty much everything.
Anything else for Devon?
Thank you very much.